for today's webinar, which is on the topic male harassment statues. So firstly, I'll begin with what Healing Towards Happiness is. So Healing Towards Happiness is a collaboration to provide a platform for individuals across all the age groups to start a healthy and positive interaction without any hesitation. This group was founded by Preeti Mehrotra, and the mission of the group is by 2025 to reach 1 million people and make them aware of the issue. The vision is to listen to the issue and offer a solution by raising awareness and providing guidance. The goal of the HTH group is to provide a forum where individuals can be heard regarding various issues. So for not taking a further lag, I'll be starting with the topic. So today's topic, as I mentioned earlier, is male harassment statues. So first, I'll say a quote which is very well stated and is very common. That is, men don't get sexually harassed; they get lucky. So that is a very common quote which is stated by everyone out there. So we'll be talking about this quote in a very detailed manner. So basically, sexual harassment can be defined as an unwelcome and inappropriate sexual gesture for any person towards one another. This includes range of actions from sexual abuse to demanding sexual favor. So not taking your time, I will first introduce Haridas sir. Welcome sir for today's webinar. Haridas sir is an international educator, mentor, counselor, motivational speaker, new age parenting coach, author, soft skills trainer, spoken English as well as IELTS trainer and life coach. He has more than 28 years of teaching and leadership experiences in 11 countries. He has taught more than 140 country students and has worked with 85 country teachers in his teaching career. He has received scholarship for study management program on educational leadership at IIM. He is a life member of India Club in various countries, Indian High Commission and Embassy. He is the honorary director and advisor of various educational institutions and in India and abroad. So welcome, sir, and I hope you will be enlightening us with your thoughts on this topic. Sir, can you hear me?
I think there is a network issue at his end. So you can proceed with Kaushal ma'am and Vedant.
So once he gets available, so our next speaker is Kaushal ma'am. Kaushal ma'am is the principal, the Learning STEM International School, Piapara, Madhya Pradesh, and resource person. So I highly welcome you, ma'am, for today's webinar, and I'll be really glad you should enlighten your thoughts on this topic. So I would like you to say a few words.
So it's a Piparia.
It's Piparia Madhya. Hello.
Haridas sir, can you please mute yourself? From here, we are not able to mute you. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah, Kaushal ma'am, continue, please.
Today we are having this session. Thank you, Preeti ma'am, first of all, and making this thing very clear that male can also be the part of harassment. And there are so many myths around us that male cannot be harassed or they cannot be assaulted. And secondly, if I say there are even itself, a male can also feel like that if he is harassed or he is assaulted, they cannot reveal it openly. I want to give an example of a movie, Aitras of Akshay Kumar, where we might have seen, or you people might have known, that this problem was telecasted in the movie, that how the male person was harassed by the actress. And this is one thing that I think male doesn't want to talk about. because we are residing in a male dominant society where we used to think that, okay, female is a weak gender. So female is going to get all the harassment, all the assaults, and she will only gain the empathy and sympathy and everything from the society. Even though if it is like a female member, like there are so many videos which I have seen viral on Facebook, on Instagram, where female member of the house, she is beating the husband, though the husband is on a very profound place and he is working on a prestigious position, designation. They are not able to register against the female because the law is literally strong towards the female. As I said, female is a weak gender. So society take it as the female gets everything from the society and from the people around them. So male never speak about harassment because they feel ashamed that if I talk about my harassment, if I talk about this particular thing, what people will think about? Am I weak? Or society is going to accept it? Or what would they think about me? They generally hide those kind of things. If I say it is like that we are not sharing so many things, it's a lack of parenting as well, where a male child of the house is not taught about these kind of harassments, whether it is mentally, whether it is physically, or it is verbal also. We teach our daughters that there is bad touch, there is good touch. We teach our daughters not to talk to strangers. We teach our daughters to stay inside the house after 6 p.m. We teach our daughters to be decent in wearing. We teach our daughters so many things, but we forget that yes, we have a male child also at home whom we have to give few of the teachings, whom we have to teach how to survive in the society, whom we have to give some knowledge about good touch and bad touch as well, where we forget these basic things. I still remember when I was watching Amir Khan's Satyamev Jayate, there were few episodes that were taken on male harassment, where I found that these people, those who are guilty or those who are the part of this harassment, especially they are from the close members or the family members or those who are literally well known to you. They used to do such kind of act. But if it comes for the victim is not able to speak out anything because we have not given that much courage to the boys. We feel that and we think that male child is born strong in society. We feel that they have the strength, that they cannot have any kind of pain in them. That's why every time we give them example, and also we used to ask them that male never cry. They make other people cry. Male are the strong people. They never have any such kind of feeling that is called pain. So it is a kind of, you can say, a scenario that has been created around a male, where these male or where these people are the part of the society, they cannot express themselves. They cannot tell and they cannot share the feeling of pain which they have inside them, because it may be the mockery for the people, those who are around them, that, oh, it really happened to a male also, because we never see that thing in such a way that they can be weak sometimes, or maybe the time is not good for them. So if it is like that a male harassment happens, or it is that we have never ever taken such kind of thing, that this healing can happen, or male can be the victim of male harassment or by some other person. So there are certain chances, certain things that can appear around us. We have seen very little cases about it, where a husband is beaten up by his wife, or he might be caught in charges of like female has harassed him mentally, she's pressurizing him for something. There are certain things that can appear because we never know what is happening inside somebody's house, what is happening with other person. We only know the outer thing. What is inside, it's like a coconut. Inside it's soft and tender, but outside it is so hard that you cannot understand what is inside. Is the situation is problematic or not? Because many a time it happens, a person who's in extreme depression, they never ever used to show that kind of a thing. What they used to do, they literally hide it, especially in behind their sweet smile, that you cannot understand that they might be getting something painful with them. So I may say that there are certain times when, yes, a male is also get harassed, a male is also having chances to have the part of this kind of assault might have happened, or somebody tried to have that. Because if I am not wrong, there was an example of a profound school where a child, a male child, was assaulted and sexually harassed by one of the sports teacher in the school. The child was not able to report. The child was threatened that he would be killed. His family would be killed, or their image would be tarnished if the child come up. So there are certain laws that are created to protect. But still I say, the laws and the rules that are created by the government, they are somewhere more, they're providing more platform for female than a male, gender of the society. So it is not easy. And if I say it's not easy to accept even that yes, male can be the part of such thing or such crime, male can be the part of such heinous thing that can appear in front of us. We used to read so many news in newspapers, we hear, but sometimes it is like that we are not able to accept that kind of truth that is appearing in front of us. A bit confused that the moderator is here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, as you mentioned about the touches, like what we teach our daughters.
Ma'am, your voice is it's a bit low. Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you're audible, but your voice is a little low.
Okay. So,
Just try and speak a little louder if that's possible.
You are audible, but a little bit volume you can increase. Check.
yeah, is now the volume good or still low?
Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah. So basically, ma'am, I would like to ask a question to you that just a second. Like, how can a male child be taught about a good touch or a bad touch? Like you mentioned in your thoughts. So, how can you teach them? How can you inculcate those things?
Yes, that's a good question which you asked. See, it's like it's being a parent. I too have a son and a daughter. So it's like we are more sensitive towards our female gender in home because they are more pampered, and for the needs of theirs, we are a little more concerned. But if come it, as I said, if it is coming towards a male, we used to feel or we used to think that okay, the child knows everything, they're a little strong, but we forget at the same time that that male child is also he is also a child. He is also having some problems which he might be facing, and we are not able to recognize, or sometimes it is like that we are not teaching them properly. that they are also the part where they should not talk to the strangers more. They should not share the personal information with the strangers, because nowadays, if we see, our kids are more open to media. If I say, smaller kids are also having accounts on Snapchat, they are having accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and many social medias are there where they are open. So they don't know what exactly is harassment. For them, sometimes it is like it's a game for them, that let's play this game, you will get this. Instead of, if you allow me to touch some parts of your body, I'll give you sweets or chocolates or whatever other demands of yours. It is in the part of like temptation kind of a thing that has been offered to the child. If suppose they are playing some game online and there are elder people, those who are playing with them, it's like we will share few reward points. So if you show me something, there are many cases of cyber crime as well in the same part. But male are more open, if I say, not for telling that they are sexually harassed somewhere, but they are more open on many social media platforms. They used to be. But if I say the culture that is appearing in front of us, the kind of culture and the exposure that is coming, it is not like at the age of 10, a child is not able to understand that what is LGBTQ community. That is one openness that suddenly appeared in front of the world. Somewhere, like we are from Orthodox families, it is little bit, if we say I am not a supporter, neither a supporter, nor I am saying no, I don't like those kind of people. But yes, it is literally hard to accept such kind of realities. Suddenly, if a child is open to such kind of things, how we are going to explain them such kind of things, that what is this happening in the society? For a child who's 10 year, 9 year, 8 year old, they can understand, but they cannot understand the peak of the reality. At that time, it is being a parent where we have to restrict them with the few things. But if it comes for the good touch and the bad touch, it is like that you need to teach them that if somebody is touching you in an inappropriate way where you are not liking it, so you need to resist, you need to rebel. It's not like that somebody is saying, okay, can I give you hand massage if you sit on my lap? So can I bathe with you? These kind of things that appear in front of the child, because children are literally sensitive. And if you show a little bit of love and care towards them, what happened to them? They generally get attracted towards such kind of things. And as I say, if some rewards are there, so definitely they will be behind you full day. So people try to take advantage of the innocence of those kids. So what they used to do, they try to trap them. So it's, as a parent, if I say what I had told to my son when he was little young, now that he has grown up. So at that time, what we used to tell him, not to talk to the strangers, but it's not easy that when they are outside somewhere and they're not talking to the strangers. If they're open to media, you are not knowing that who are included in their social accounts, if you are not included in that. So that time it becomes difficult for you to explain them that where you need to restrict yourself from such kind of things. Secondly, when we have relatives, so many relatives randomly coming at home, many a time it is like that some are known to us, but still we don't know what kind of intentions they are carrying towards us. So that time also we need to be concerned. We need to tell our children to have a border, or we need to set some limits. Okay, that now that your talking time is over, so you need to leave this place. Or with the relatives, you can not pass a lot of time of yours. You should be restricted towards something, because children basically they don't have much time left Nowadays, though, they don't have that much time left with them that they can talk to their parents even, because they're literally busy in their own life and in their own work. So I feel like where we need to set the limits and we need to tell them that if something strange that is not acceptable by them is happening around them, immediately they need to report to their parent. For that, a parent-child connect should be very clear. That a child is that much confident in his or her parent that they can come and they can share that what kind of issue they are having.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I'll be introducing our next speaker, who is Vedant. So he is a student of DCE and founding team member of CF-based Charter Filio. I welcome you, and I would like to put your thoughts out there on the same question I asked ma'am, and then we'll move further.
Yeah, so thanks a lot. Greetings to everyone. I'm getting some echo. I'm getting some feedback of my own voice. Anyways, I'll continue. So, so first of all, thanks a lot, Kaushal ma'am. You definitely laid some very good foundations to think upon. And recollecting my days when I actually used to see Satyamev Jayate with my whole family, I remember this distinct episode where it was told to have one such person where you feel safe, where you can have a safe space and get back to like and try and connect with him. I would also very much agree to the point where you said that in the current day and age, with the advent of social media, with the advent of such rapid globalization, even accepting major changes isn't really taking a lot of time for students or for young adults. And definitely there are certain pros, there are certain cons, there are certain things good, acceptable, and some are unacceptable. Definitely. Now I would like try and get back. I personally would try and want to get back to the actual agenda of the whole webinar. That is that in male harassment statutes, right? And laying some fundamentals just out there, just spitting out some facts. So there are a number of researches done where, so there's this research from Economic Times, which states that, yeah, which states that 29, after a detailed survey, and this was a survey back in 2012, it was stated that even at workplaces, 29 to 43% of participants agreed to have been harassed by female colleagues. This is specifically in terms of workplace harassment issues and cases, and these are male related, right? So these numbers, like these staggering numbers, are something which should not be ignored. And according to a PW research, there have been cases. So according to the PW research of 2014, 25% of women and 13% of men have been harassed sexually in their age of 18 to 24. Now, by any ways, at any point of time, I do not, being a male myself, I do not dismiss any male benefits which I enjoy. I can relate to when compared to any other friend, any other sister or mother, or any other person, any other female who I know of. I am relatively a lot more free and a lot more comfortable going around at nights alone. That is something which I enjoy. I, as much as I want to remorse, as much as I do remorse, that these benefits are not the same with every gender. I also very statistically and very seriously understand that our Indian Constitution has given us right to equality. In their Article 14 of Indian Constitution, they've given us right to equality in front of law and however legislature would like to call it, right? So now coming back to a few spitting of facts, as we know that 25% of women and 13% as the facts state, that 25% of women and 13% of men between their ages of 18 to 24 have experienced sexual assault or harassment. These are two different things. We can definitely get back to it later on. We still see that there is absolutely no law which protects a male or a man from being harassed, and not even starting, just the tip of the iceberg. In our legislature, I'm in no way, I am at this point, I'm very, being a male speaking on such a topic, it's a little bit anxiety inducing to say the least. Yeah, so just the tip of the iceberg for women, we have a lot of sections, just to name a few: section 354, 376, 509, and a lot of other amendments, 2012, 2013, the Criminal Act of 2013, the Criminal Act of 2012 amendment, the Nirbhaya case. All of these all these acts, all these articles, they completely revolve around women being the victim of the crime, right? And which in a way very directly ignores and supersedes the fundamental right of equality. So that is what I believe is in the statutes form. In the statutes form, that is something which is a very big loophole in our system right now, right? And these certain aspects of the society, which is the cultural aspect, as ma'am just said, that the cultural aspect of simply the stigma, the fear of humiliation, the lack of awareness, all these aspects when combined together add up to such inequality in terms of statutes when it comes to male harassment versus female harassment. And while saying all this, I, at any point of time, do not mean that we are the, like, at any point, I do not say that we are the ones who are suffering a lot. Definitely, you have to acknowledge the patriarchy, the current system which is there, the current upbringing almost everyone of us have been through. So not ignoring that, we also have to understand that these statutes still need a lot of revision. There is a lot of scope. There is a lot of work to be done when it comes to legislature side, the statute side, and as ma'am just said, the awareness and the social stigma side as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. So my next question to you both will be, why is male harassment a topic that is a very rarely talked about? Like, why is it still a taboo? If I state. Yeah,
Uh,
sure, ma'am. Go ahead.
I need to say something. Like just now, sorry, I forgot the name.
Vedant.
Vedant, I'm so sorry. Just now, Vedant sir has said that there is no law, but if we talk about POSCO,
Yeah.
till age,
So I'm so
till
sorry.
age of
Continue.
16, till age of 16, either it's a male or a female. If any act of assault or sexual harassment or pornography happens, so definitely the person is behind the bar under Section 4.
Yeah. So what I would further try and answer this question. So when I talk men, I'm not talking boy. When I talk men, I'm specifically targeting the people who are now an adult, right? POSCO is the act which has been implemented for a very long while now, which is a very good act. It's something which you can never speak less of, right? Not considering the people. So under 18, that becomes criminal in the sense that, in the minority sense, like the people involved, either consensual, is still, the acts are still done. Like the minors, even if it's consensual, it doesn't matter if it's minor, right? So the statutes which I said are specifically regarding the male prevention. Now, the actual law which is there, which talks about sodomy, is just Article 377, which was very recently decriminalized. Right, the fact of consensual sodomy was decriminalized. So, if you go a little bit deeper towards that, you will realize that it is the assault or the harassment starts a lot before sodomy. Sodomy, for people who do not know, would be rectal form of penetration. So, I mean, it would be more like rape is the only way to assault or harass someone. That is what sodomy essentially means. And all the laws revolving around it, the 376, the 509, the 304, all those talk from the beginning of the harassment for females. That can be any gesture, that can be any word, that can be any touch. That was my point. So they do not include men as of now. They are exclusive for females.
Ma'am, would you like to say something?
Piyu, I'm so sorry, you're not audible.
Pihu, you can repeat your question which you asked.
Yeah, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, again, your voice is very low, so little bit loud.
Yeah. So my question was that why is male harassment as a topic be very rarely talked about? Why is still a taboo? So that was my question to you guys.
I'll answer if, ma'am, you don't mind. Being a male, I understand. I feel it a lot. So I would broadly, like, why is it so taboo? Why is it so difficult to talk about? It is, as you just, like, your first statement, your first quote was that if it's for a man, then he's lucky. If it happens for a man, then he's lucky, right? So the society has a very rigid notion as of now of how a man is supposed to act. The patriarchy, the whole upbringing has taught us to be a man. This concept of masculinity, however flawed it is, it exists, right? And the very same reason why I've grown a beard. So for these very same reasons, there is a very high chance that people will ridicule the victim. Why? And ridicule the victim and create a very hostile environment for the person who is going through that, right? Whenever I feel low, I'm asked to be man up, act like a man, not to cry. These are the things which we've been hearing from. I have been hearing from literally when I was 3. While men who experience assaults, men who experience harassment of that intensity or whatever intensity is there, they go through the same emotional trauma as that of a woman, right? So the crux of it being the social stigma, the fear of humiliation, the whole concept, the whole image of masculinity which the society holds, makes it very difficult for any man to even open up, let alone talk about harassment.
Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to put your thoughts out?
Can you repeat the question, Piyu?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, my question was why male harassment as a topic is very rarely talked about and it's still a taboo.
Yeah, as I said earlier as well, that we all have seen
Question, ma'am,
many.
if you don't mind, can you please switch on your camera?
Ma'am, there's some issue with the camera. If I switch it on, just see the image is little broader. So I
Just try
think
once. If it is not proper, then I'll let you know.
it's switching it. Yes, now
So
I'm not
just yeah.
out.
You can minimize it. Yeah, maybe.
Can I rejoin in a second?
No. Okay, just try once. Meantime, Pihu, you can continue another question with Vedant.
Ma'am, my question for you would be
Yeah.
what are your suggestions for parents so that they can make this conversation convenient with their children? So, yes, like
I
how do you
believe Kaushal ma'am would be the right person to answer this. But yeah, I mean, it all boils down to the upbringing, the lack of awareness we as men have, right? And as much as we are told to respect women or respect people in general, I wish we were told to actually understand what safe space is or understand how we can build that fundamental of trust between people in order to actually share these emotions and actually share the experiences, good or bad, right? This all boils down to communication and everything that follows it. Now, coming to how parents can, there is no, you cannot gamify teaching prevention of sexual harassment, right? You cannot gamify that. Even if you do, it's still a grave topic and will remain so. So, a very direct, a very informative, and a very serious approach should be required. That's what my perspective says. Because what happens is that you can gamify, you can ease it out all you want. End of the day, if at all something, God forbid anything happens, but if at all something happens, it leaves a scar on a person's soul forever, right? So that's what my take would be for specifically how parents can deal with it. Would be to summarize it all a bit. It would be more to actually take care of good communication between their children, which is a very difficult thing to do in Indian society. That's something which I have personally felt a lot. However, once you cross that barrier, you have to understand that providing a, just providing after providing a safe space, you have to actually build over it and directly in a very serious note should be told the do's and don'ts and how to prevent, which is the prevention of sexual harassment, how to go about that. You're not at all audible.
Add to it, meantime, the Kaushal ma'am is joining. What you said, Vedant, yeah, the communication. And I think like communication should be together with a girl, or if a child parent is having girl or a boy, I think that communication should be together. It should not be like you are separating, telling something to your girl child separately and then coming to the boy child separately. If you're even giving a sex education, so it should be in common, and both the parents should be involved and both the children should be involved, so that there should not be any taboo that we are not going to talk in front of a girl or in front of the boy. So yeah, Kaushal ma'am has joined, so she'll be giving more pointers to it.
So, ma'am, my question basically was what are your suggestions for parents so that they can make this conversation convenient with their children regarding the male harassment or assault?
Can you repeat your question once again? You?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, my question was, what are your suggestions for parents so that they can make this conversation convenient with their children? Like, what do you like to suggest?
For that, ma'am, you just try to open your camera. You can now.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, no, it's okay. So, first of all, I would like to answer the first question which you asked me earlier, that why male are not able to open up easily for the harassment that happened to them. As I said, they male are not easily able to accept the situation that happened around them, because as we make them strong as they born, we used to feel like, okay, a male child has born in the family, so he is like a stable partner or a stable member of the society or of the house. So male are considered as a strong member in house. So that's why, and their mentality, we used to make their mentality so stronger, and they become so dominant about this stronger mentality that they are not able to open up for such kind of acts, because they don't want to become the part of the mockery that would happen around them in the society. People, those who are surrounding them, their relatives, their family members, their friends, or well known people, how they will accept that the male is harassed by a female member, whether it's a workplace, whether it's a school, whether you can say any like outside in campus, or if you can say maybe at home also. But there are very few people those who open up about that kind of harassment which happened to them. It is not easy for them to accept and reveal such kind of situations. They don't want to speak out about these things because we are not teaching them. We haven't taught any male to talk about all such problems. We haven't taught any male to talk about such kind of issues. And till now, I I am attending like more than 1,000 webinars I had attended. Maybe they are on environment, on COVID, how to go with NEP, how to go with education, how to go with this, blah, blah, so many things. This is the first one, if I say from the side of Preeti, that this first thing has appearing over here. Maybe I missed the webinars, but yes, I saw the recordings that were over there on the Facebook, because here something different is happening where we have taken and chosen a different kind of a topic. As we know that this is a male dominant society and female gender is a victim gender, always it's a victim gender. If you are going to register or launch a complaint against a female or against a co-male that they are harassing me mentally and physically, or they are harassing me sexually, it is very difficult to convince the person who's in front of you. As Vedant few minutes back he has said that society is not able to accept such kind of things from a male member. They are not taking it so easily, because as I said, they used to feel like he is a strong male member. Male is considered a strong pillar everywhere. The next question which you asked, that how can you please again repeat the question?
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, my question was, what are your suggestions for parents so that they can make this conversation, which you both were talking about, convenient with their children?
See, it's being a parent, it becomes a tough thing for us. Like, I'm also holding a school where I find that the children, those who are at their younger ages right now, those who are in kindergarten, those who are in grade 1 and 2, after the long period of COVID, many students suddenly appear in the school. Then at that time, they don't know how to behave with each other, what kind of words they need to speak to each other, how they have to react for the action, because everybody is a pampered child at home. You are also pampered. Vedant is also pampered. I may say I was also pampered in my family. My kids are also pampered by us. We are not, as a parent at that young age, we are not teaching them that thing that, okay, how you need to behave with somebody with whom you are meeting first time. We are just telling them to say hello. And after some time, when we start, we don't teach them that, okay, if somebody is not having a rubber or a pencil, you need to share your things as well in the classroom. But we never teach them such kind of things. We never teach them any kind of a social skill. As I also said, we never teach them how to behave with a stranger. We always teach them stay away from a stranger. We never teach them how to stay away from a stranger, how to behave with those stranger people whom you're going to meet first time. We never teach them such kind of things at home. Being a parent, ever your mother taught you or she has given any kind of class to you that first time when you're going out to college, how you have to meet and greet your friends whom you will be meeting first time. We are not knowing anybody. It is our behavior that makes friends, that makes somebody comfortable with you. The connect that should create a bonding between a parent and the child, where we need to teach our children that how they need to be or they need to stop somebody, that those who are behaving rashly or they try to molest them or they try to assault them somewhere, how we need to resist, how we need to escape from such kind of situations. Such social skills we are not teaching at home. Being a parent, I think I may feel shy if I'm going to talk to my 15-year-old son that, do you know what is sexual harassment? What does that mean? He is still sitting beside me and smiling. That why is my parent is going to talk about such kind of thing to me? Is she is going to teach me such kind of things? That I may be the victim of this thing sometime. So we as a parent never open up, because we are in that kind of orthodox society where we feel like that such words, harassment, mental harassment, sexual harassment, or anything that happens to us, maybe it is because of the situation or condition that has arisen because of something, but we never talk about. We always try to put blame on the head of the victim or we, because we knew that as almost every time what we used to do, we teach to compromise to everyone, either it's a male or a female, but we give more and more liberty and freedom to our male children. Right now, if I talk about in today's scenario, if this thing is like past 10 years back, something was happening like that. But now, if I talk about from last 4 to 5 years, there's a sudden steep change in everything, almost in everything, in laws even. Like 358A, B, and C, I think 1890 also. These are the sections that are talking about the harassment of male somewhere, but not clearly they are mentioning. As being in this kind of society where we are little bit rigid with our rules and traditions and culture, we never open up for such kind of topics in family, especially that what family members will think about, how we are going to deal with our children, how we are going to teach them, are we supposed to talk such kind of things? So we used to put that kind of matter on the head of school management, or school used to think that, okay, let's hire one counselor. The counselor is going to counsel the children and they are going to talk about such kind of things and they are going to teach children about these things, that what actually this kind of harassment means. So psychologically, we are not prepared. Right now, we are not prepared to accept such kind of realities and even to talk about for such kind of things. So first of all, being parent, we need to teach ourselves. First of all, we need to have such kind of confidence in ourselves that we can make that kind of environment around us, that where our children can come up with such thing. They should know such kind of thing, that okay, sexual harassment is something that happened to them. Maybe it is by the hand of a female also, because a child is not knowing such kind of acts. Everybody is not open up with such kind of things, because of the scenario also and because of the teaching also. So from my side, the message is very clear, that first parents have to open up with their children, whether it's a girl or a boy. They need to give them a platform, or the parental connect should be very clear. Because when a child become a teenager or adolescent, it's like that we start running away from our parents, or children start running away. They used to think that whatever the parents are saying, it's just a lecture. They are just giving a boring lecture to us. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a wastage of time. So it's better to run away from such kind of thing. Or whatever you speak about, they used to feel like, okay, please leave me and give me my space. It is something like that, where I feel and I had seen that teenagers are also opening up for hashtag me too, where they're coming up that yes, this happened to me, or this kind of appearance here is happening. And in society, because the awareness is very less, people are not so much knowledgeable about such kind of acts right now. Also, if I say, many of well educated people also feel shy to talk about all such things. They will also speak that okay, this is a kind of thing that is appearing now. So I personally feel that parents, first of all, because parent is the first teacher and home is the first institution. From there only we need to start, and from there only we need to teach our children that how they have to be safe and they have to remain safe forever.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, being from psychological background, I would like, if you both don't mind, I would like to add a point. Like Preeti ma'am would highly agree with me, because the harassment, we don't talk on a regular basis regarding these topics, and then people try to submissive their thoughts. Like if they are going through, they don't share. Like especially if I talk about male gender, so as you both stated that male are tend to be strong, they cannot cry, they cannot spill out their emotions out loud. So these basically small things pile up, and then it becomes a huge disaster at the end. And and harassment not only affects physically but mentally a lot. So I would like to spill out few clinical things over there. Like harassment evolves PTSD disorder and depression, anxiety, stress. So if we don't talk about from the ground level, we tend to see suicide rate go higher and higher. And due to harassment, we have reported a lot of cases of suicides. So this will continue if we don't talk about from the ground level. So we should talk about it. We should have a conversation with our children. If they are going through, we should teach our children that what is a good touch or a bad touch. So I would now ask Vedant, like, what awareness you can provide for children basically, or teenagers for the same. Like being a male person in our panelist, what all you can provide as awareness, then I will conclude.
Ah, so as all right, now coming to awareness part of it, so I'll just go a little bit towards the legislative route, right? So as ma'am just mentioned, the POXO Act, which is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act of 2012. So this is one act which has been appreciated across the board for years, which essentially prevents anyone, which criminalizes any sexual act under the age of 18, and which is gender neutral. With this, we also have to understand that most of the laws right now, which prevent the sexual harassment, are gender biased towards the women community, towards the female group of it. I won't call it community, but yeah. But for the young adults, for the university going students, there is another regulation which was passed in 2015, which also prevented sexual harassment, which is another sexual harassment law for all, which applies to only the college going, university, and deemed to be university students. This act, again, is gender neutral. And the criminalization of sodomy without consent, the Article 377. These are the few, to name a few acts, these are the few acts which which criminalizes the sexual harassment for men. Now, the big point is that we have to understand that most of the other parts, or most of the other aspects of harassment, are yet not decriminalized by the government, by the legislative assembly of India, right? So that is one thing. Before giving tips, I would want to bring into life. Essentially, that is what the agenda of this whole webinar was, right? So that being the center of the discussion, what tips, or can you just frame your question again? Can you just tell your question again? I might have misled it to some other tangent.
Yeah. So basically, my question was, how can we spread as a youth awareness related to this issue, like to our parents, to our older uh, adult people, to our younger generation, and to our generation?
Okay, I definitely took it to a wrong tangent. So, all right. So, as I just mentioned earlier, I don't see a easy way to do that, or I don't see a easy way or a gamified way to spread awareness about sexual harassment. Right? It is something very grave, and that has to be dealt with the same sincerity. As ma'am just said, that as uncomfortable as it is, you have to understand that it is extremely important. Spreading awareness or prevention of sexual harassment, these skills, and these are basic life skills. As ma'am said, that what we so prevention of sexual harassment should not be considered as a very fundamental life skill like sharing, or respecting, or maybe respecting your elders. These are not the fun. This won't be considered as a fundamental life skill. Okay, I have to prevent myself from being harassed, because most of the instances people do not even know that they have been sexually harassed until unless they are told about it, right? So one like my suggestion would be to be direct. That is what I have been preaching, and that my suggestion comes from a very personal background, has a lot of story behind it, but it all boils down to that certain things are so grave you cannot play around it. You cannot think it as you cannot take it, acha ye to hai hi hai. Yeah, this is given. This is forgiven. Right? So this is one thing. If the if the crime has to go down, the awareness has to rise. The awareness has to go up. That's how it rolls, right? So essentially, there is that. That's what my take on this is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Vedant, for taking up this topic out there, for putting your thoughts out there. Yes, ma'am, for sure.
I want to say, I think we all are aware about Josh Talks. We have heard so many people, because that is a platform that is provided to the people where you can share your problems. There's one case for one of the boy. I don't remember his name exactly. He was like called as Dilli Ka Darinda. He was a male Sardar boy from the community. He hasn't harassed the girl, but the charges were put on that sexually he made a comment, and he said so many threatening verbal abuses were given to her on the red light. But the girl ran from India and she settled herself in Canada, and then she came back. The case went so long. I heard him on Josh Talks. That's why I remember this thing, that where exactly the thing happens. There is one more, Pooja Sharma. She is a transgender. I think we all are knowing it. Maybe we all are not aware, but yes, if you're much open to social platform, you might be seeing her. She is a famous personality. She's a transgender, Pooja Sharma. When I heard her on Josh Talks recently, what she said that earlier when she was a child, she was not able to understand what does sexual harassment means to her, because she was not able to understand even her own identity, that either she belongs to a girl or a boy, or she is a transgender, what she is. But slowly and steadily, she got aware about this thing, that what is happening to her and how the people are manipulating and molesting her. So then she restricted herself to go beyond on such kind of things. After that, she understood that instead of going on that path, she can do something better for transgenders of the society. She can go on a good path and she can upbring so many people. She is a famous personality right now. Many people are following her. Even big, if I can say, stars, they used to welcome her, and she is preaching as well. Somewhere we need to understand and we need to take initiative to spread such kind of awareness, that yes, it is somewhere come in the category of crime as well. If I say that if you are harassed, whether it is mentally, physically, or verbally, or sexually, it comes under the category of crime only. But we need to open up. Until and unless victim is not going to open, they are not going to share, they are not going to shout out to someone that yes, I am, it's enough for me now, I am not able to bear anything more. Until then, these things may appear or it may not get stopped. And secondly, the exposure of media, because we don't know who will become the next prey and who all are making those plans and who all are trying to have and getting influenced by some of, I can say, the series or watching some crime and videos. Many people are there outside, in the outside society, those who are having they might be doing the same thing, doing it on the regular basis. Maybe somebody is also getting harassed today, but they are not able to speak about. They are not able to put on their point right now. So we are the people, those who can spread awareness. We are the people, those who have to come up for such things, those who have to say no, those who have to tell no. Now it's enough. We are not able to bear it again. As I have given the example of movie Etras twice of Akshay Kumar, that how he was harassed by Priyanka Chopra, and how there was a female who was standing with him, but it's not possible every time somebody is standing for you for whatever you are having and whatever you are getting. It's you have to become your own voice, where you need to tell and you need to share and you need to come up. And for how long you're going to hide all such kind of things? How long you're going to have such kind of depressions inside you? Let's speak. Let's have such kind of more platforms.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I
And like, thank you so much. So I'll conclude now because the time is up, and Vedant has to go somewhere. So I would like to thank both of you for being the panelist on and talking about such an immense topic, which is very rarely talked about. So thank you for putting your thoughts out, for stating facts out. So it was very insightful webinar for all of us, and I hope the live audience have enjoyed all your thoughts. So thank you so much. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a
much.
lot, ma'am.
Thank
It
you.
has
you,
been
both
an
of you.
absolute